Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today we are once again working in the Owl and Fairy journal. So I'm just going to follow on from last week where I made my topper, and now I want to, and then I've sewn in the signatures. I don't know if you can see. I used dark brown thread so it's not too obvious, but the signatures are now sewn into the journal. So they're all here. And so I'm very happy with that. And so today I thought we'd just get this finished by putting on some lace along the spine and putting the topper on and any other little embellishments that occur along the way. So that's what I'm going to start with. I think I've pulled out a piece of this. This is that lovely sort of coffee coloured lace. There's a little bit of it on the topper just here. I didn't want it to be too bright, the lace, but I wanted it to show up enough. And it actually tones in really well with the colours on this fabric. So I thought that would look really nice on that on the spine. So I'm going to start with that. And then we're going to do a few other little bits before I actually put this on. So I will tell you about that in a moment. So I think I better start with gluing on my lace, so that can be drying while we do the other little bits that I would like to do before we actually finally put the topper on the front. So I think what I think I'll start with is putting some glue along the centre of the spine and then putting and positioning the lace right down the middle and then gluing it either side. So I'm just going to put lots of glue along the spine. So how is everybody? I know it's very, very hot over in the States, so I hope you're not suffering from that too much. We're happy to see a bit of sunshine at the moment. We haven't seen a lot of it lately. We had that lovely warm weather, sort of bit of a heat wave in June. We haven't seen an awful lot of warm weather ever since, really. I think we might be getting some next weekend. But yeah, it's not been so great lately. I think too many people complained about the hot weather, and then now we haven't had any for a while. I didn't complain. I quite liked it. It didn't get too hot. I didn't think. Some people found it too hot, I think. So if I got that kind of level, trying to make sure it's kind of centred over this middle bit. So it should attach there. Yes, so I'm filming this. I'm filming a week ahead at the moment. It's quite nice to get a little bit ahead, get a bit of a cushion, because I know we've got some busy weekends coming up later in the month. So my granddaughter, normally through most of the holidays we will be having our granddaughter every Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, but she and her parents are on holiday at the moment. They're in Venice, or they're in a campsite just outside Venice, I should say. And my son-in-law is so good. He pretty well, every day I think we've had photos, the odd video, update on what they're doing, and he's been so good. He always does that. He's very, very good at keeping us up with everything that's happening with the family. I think he's the one he's always got the camera. He's always got the phone on the go. Whenever you go anywhere, he's always there with his phone, photographing his daughter and his wife, and then sharing it with us. He's very good. We get the occasional picture of the two of them, him and Jenny, that they take a selfie. But he's the one does all the pictures. Like when my girls were young, I was always the one with the camera. So I didn't appear in as many of the pictures unless I thrust the camera at Richard and said, "Can you take a picture of me with the girls?" Because otherwise I wouldn't have there would be no pictures of me when we were on holiday. But he's the one that does that these days for them. So let's just get this last bit of glue Get this on, and then we'll leave it to dry. I'll be on it. If I need to touch up any more bits, I will. But I think we're okay. Topped up my bottles to make sure it come out well. I haven't got to squeeze too much. So I think this is the front. Yep, good. I'm just making sure. So I'm just going to put that aside for a short while, because what I want to do, I've got my little topper. Now I don't know if you remember, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've got all my bits of ephemera here that have got fairies on, because I don't know, it was this one I think, where I tried to, was it this one? No, it wasn't, it was this one, when I made this belly band. I don't know if it's a belly band, tie up, something like that. Can't even remember what it was meant to be, but anyway, one of those. And I wanted to make her wings shine, and it wouldn't work because I had a transparent glaze, and I thought it wasn't, it was too old to show the shine, but I think what it was just clear, transparent. It didn't have that spark, that shine as part of it. So I have since bought a new embossing powder, which is crystal clear. So it should have, it says here it's got a high gloss finish. So this should work. And I thought, well, I want to do all the wings. So far I've got quite a few pieces of ephemera with fairies on. So I've pulled them all out. That was one I made ages ago as part of Roxy's weekly challenge. I don't even know where this fairy came from, but she works, so she's going to get the treatment as well. And I've got a whole bunch of fairy ephemera here, and I just want to emboss their wings. I don't know if I'll get them all done on camera, but I thought I'd make a start and maybe finish a few off camera so we can move forward. So I thought, well, the first one I want to do is this little girl here. It's going to be a bit tricky because I've actually got some of this greenery just going over her wings, which I hadn't really thought about this, but I'll see if I can get it to work, and we'll see how we go. So I'm going to have to be quite careful on this one because it's so small. I need my mat for using the heat tool so it doesn't warp my mat. Though it's in such a state, I'm not sure we'd even notice. So this is the embossing pen. So let's just see if I can get a little bit of shine on these wings. We'll take it from there. Maybe just do 2 or 3 on camera, and then I'll finish them off afterwards. And then we can sort of look at what other ephemera we have, and maybe start getting some things in the journal. We'll see. Okay. And I've got some little bits here. There's looks like a little tiny bit of wing down here as well. Okay, let's see what we can do. Sorry about the dog, if you can hear the dog barking. We have a bus stop over the road, and it's got a bench, and there's somebody sitting on the bench with his dog, and he's barking at the cars, I think, as they go by. So, oh no. No cars going by, but dog's still barking. Don't know what his problem is. Right, let's see what happens with this one. I'll need a bit of paper, don't I? I'm not very prepared. First of all, let's see if we can get all the powder off the bits that we don't want to shine. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Right, let's see. Put that aside for a moment, and let's try the heat tool and see what happens. See if we can get a nice bit of shine on our little fairy wings. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can... there's a little bit of shine. Not fantastic. Maybe it's... Oh, I'm just wondering if it's the embossing pen. Maybe it's a bit old. Is there anything on it? I think it's a little dry. I think that's the problem. I think the pen's too dry. Okay, I may have to get a new one of these. Might be too old. That's a shame. Oh, there's a pen. It says dual pen. Let's try the other end. I don't know. See if there's any more juice on the end that I can never get the top off. There's any juice on this one. No. That's the problem, folks. It's the pen's dead. The pen's dried out. Okay. I'll have to rethink. I'll have to get a new one of these, and then we'll come back and finish this next next week. I'm destined not to get these wings looking all shiny, but I'm determined to keep trying. So in the meantime, I'll put the embossing powder. Should have got a new pen at the same time and be done with it, shouldn't I? I thought it was the powder, and partly that was the case, I think, because it wasn't a glossy powder. But I think the other problem is my pen has dried out. So we'll move on. There's plenty more to do. I just won't be able to put any of these things in the journal until I've got my new pen. And I'll try it out before I actually come on camera to do any more. Okay, so does this mean I can't put this on the journal yet? Well, I would really like to do a little bit of embossing on this topper, so you can see how it's going to go. It's going to look lovely on there, I think, and I think the bit of lace really helps. I also have this trim, which I think I might just put along here as well. I like that with a little rose, just to give a bit of extra something. I don't know, bit of extra something. So yeah, that's going to go on as well. But I'm going to leave that for this week, and I'm going to leave all my fairy ephemera pieces until next time, and we'll do something else. There is plenty to do. So what I have done, I haven't actually glued anything in, but you saw me glue in the this bit of the snippet roll we did. Well, I've been cutting up some more pieces and just placing them in here as a potential. So this is a pocket. I think that's going to go there. So I put one piece in each signature. So I've got a pocket here. In the next signature, I've got a belly band to go there. And in the third signature, it was a case of seeing what would work where. I'm going to use this piece as a sideways belly band. So I think I might as well just put these in, mightn't I? Because I think that's what I want to do. And then that is at least a start on filling the journal. They're quite thick, these pieces, but there's no point in making things and then not use them, is there? And I do have a chunk left that I might just keep and stroke now and again. I think if I use this stuff again, I'm going to take out all these stringy bits. I think when I watched Rachel's video when she used it, she didn't do that. But I don't know whether mine has ended up thicker than hers, but I think that's what I would want to do another time. Let's take those bits out, because they just add bulk. I should have done that. Lots of bits of threads. Okay. I've got plenty on the corners. Just put that on there. So I think we're probably going to need to make some journal cards. I've got a few tags, a reasonable number of pockets and things, but I think we might need some bigger journal cards for some spots. Okay, so I've got that one on. Then what's I going to do with this? Oh yes, I've got a thought for this as well. Okay, come back to that. So this is this one. This is the belly band. It's going to go there. And if I can pull any bits out, I'll try and pull out. Yeah, I can pull out a bit. The central one seems to be coming through okay. Let's get something to poke underneath it, just pull it out. Some of it's caught under the sewing, so I'll just chop that bit off, see if I can pull any more of it out. I'll just chop some of these bits off. They won't come out, they've probably been sewn or stuck. Alright, so now I'm just going to glue this on. Okay. And I don't know if I did it on this one, but certainly on one or two of them I did, once I'd cut it, sewed along the raw edge. I don't know if I did that. Did I do that on the pocket? I did. I think where it looked like it was a bit open, I've sewn along the raw edge where I cut it. Don't think I needed to on this one because it already had some sewing on there. I'm not sure I did it on this one though. I think I did this first and didn't think about sewing the raw edge then, but I don't think it matters too much on that one. So then we've got the one at the back. Is it, how near the back is it? No, not that close to the back. Here it is. So this one I did sew the raw edges either side. Just going to trim off a couple of these bits of thread. Okay. And I thought, rather than having another pocket down here, which I could do, I just thought maybe it'd be nice to have it in the middle. Just vary it a bit, and also it distributes the bulk a little bit as well, having it higher up, because these are quite bulky. I did do some more bits of sewing on some of these pieces, where they hadn't been caught in on the initial run. There's a little bit sticking up here, but I don't mind that. That's just a bit of lace, a little bit loose, but some of the bits of fabric here and there I did a bit of extra sewing. I think it's one of those things you could never stop once you start sewing these things. So I'm just going to glue this on either side. Okie dokie. That. And it hasn't gone right to the edge. I felt like it. Didn't really want it too close to this central spine, so I centred it. Okay. So they should dry nicely. This glue's good. It's quite strong. I'm very happy with this fabric glue that I've been buying from Hobbycraft. Right, so where did I see? I saw somewhere that needed something added to it. Somewhere. Was it the end of the last signature? No, that's not the end of the signature. Where is it? That one? Was it the end of the first signature? Yes, it was. So the end of the first signature is a double page, and it has one of, instead of an owl on this side, it has a kind of hawk type thing. It's not a thing, it's a bird, a beautiful bird. I got in mind, I've been saving anything with the raptors on, I've been putting aside, so I might do a small raptor journal just because it's just such a lovely kit. Not just yet, but I might come to do that in the future. So I have put all of those pieces aside. But I didn't. But this one, because it was an owl on one side, see, on the owl is on the front, and he's on the back. I thought maybe I should cover this bit up with something else. And I didn't have an owl like this that was different to what I've already used, but I did have this piece. I'm not quite sure what relevance it has, but I thought it was a lovely piece, and I thought maybe it could go there. And what I'm thinking I might do is just have the central piece here. So I think I need to tear it down. And I'm going to make it into a pocket. That's what I'm trying to get at. This is something I've seen Carol Laws do quite often with pages, where she, if there's an obvious place that looks a bit pockety, she'll put another piece over the top that's the same. It's like a hidden pocket. So I thought I might have a go at doing something like that. That's something I've really done before. And she always puts a bit of a gusset, so it's not puts too much strain on the pocket. So I'm going to do that too. So I'm going to tear that down. Okay, well, I have folded it over. It's probably too thick actually, just to get so that the top of the pocket is going to. Oh, not those scissors. Oh, no, no, no. Not my fabric scissors. I don't need them to be blunt. Not quite yet. Right, so I'm just going to trim a piece of this off. But I'm going to turn it over to give the top of the pocket a bit of strength. And then I'm going to. So this is pure Carol Laws, what I'm doing here. But she does it all the time, and I've never done it, so I don't know how it'll turn out. And she always gives herself some extra to fold under. Oop. Does a better job of tearing it than I did, of course. That was not good. Not good at all. Be more careful. So I might just get my little scoreboard. Carol always scores hers, and even though this is paper, so I've got to be careful. It makes sense to make sure you get a straight fold. So I might just turn that under so I get it lined up. And do a little score here. Try and be gentle, because I'm a bit of a tendency to go through the paper when I do this kind of thing. And Oops, that's not quite right. Here we go. Almost through the page. This isn't straight. I'm not doing it straight. Ooh. Just turn that under, make sure the next one is straight. And then this one. Line that up. Get hold of this properly, that's better. Just try and gently score this side. Oops. It twists. Okay. So I'm just going to cut off these corners. So I'm going to glue this top one down. There. Okay, so let's fold. Yeah, this isn't good. I don't know whether to glue that piece down. Just have the little gussets at the side. Like that. Well, it's not too bad, I suppose. There's a bit there. And then this one as well on the other side. And then I will put a little thumb notch here, I think. I've glued that, haven't I? Yes. Just going to put a little thumb notch at the top. It is quite near the top of the page, but I don't have to have it sticking out too far, whatever I put in it. So let's just ink up the edges. So this should just fit over there. It's actually a little bit smaller than the one that's already there, which I hadn't really expected. But if I line it up at the top, I think that will be okay. Maybe I'll put a little something underneath here, a little bit of trim, cover that up, or over the top. Over the top. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that on. I think I will glue, where are we? Not that one. Get the right one. That kind of, I just want that to glue to the bottom piece. It's not trying to pop up. I know what I want to do. I want to do really make these nice and burnished so that it does lie flat. At the moment it's just kind of sitting up. Right, burnish them down nice and firmly. And once the book is closed, it'll lie flat anyway, I'm sure. So I'm just going to It's always when the first gluing of the day always takes a while to get it going. Come on. Right. To line it up at the top and at the side. The width, slightly wider as well. As long as the top is covered. And that's it. So it's lined up there. And I think what I'll do is I'll put a little something across the bottom here to disguise the fact that it's a different size. So what can we put across the bottom? I have got this trim, which would go quite well. Is it the right way around? Yes. Don't think it. No, maybe that way. It goes really well. It's a bit thick. I'm not sure that's the lace. Although have I got any in here? Right, I've got. Is that too bright? It might be. There's this one. I think this is the one I used on the cover. Quite like that. Red lace. And then I'm thinking, I wonder if I've got a little bit of rickrack. I think might work if I've got the right colour. Just to bring in the green. Have I got the right green? I think I might do. Bit of good green there. Yes. Yes, I think I would like that. So they're not too thick. Even these two together aren't as thick as that other green trim. All right, let's do a bit of this. Which one is that? I think I might try using a bit of the art glitter glue, the last little bit I have left. I'm going to go across there, across the bottom of the pocket. How far across am I going? Just a bit either side. But I think for the rickrack I'll need to use the fabric glue because it's that bit thicker and it needs something a little stronger. In my opinion, that's how I feel about this. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. And then I have a pocket. I could put something like that, which would actually... that would fit perfectly, wouldn't it? Well, there you go. But she's got to have her wings shined up, however you... When I can see if I can do it, see if I can get the right pieces together to do it. So I need to get myself a new embossing pen. I have had that one quite a long time, and I'm not entirely surprised that it's dried out. Just wished I'd realised when I ordered the embossing powder that I also needed the pen. But I should be okay. Hopefully I can get it off Amazon. Good old Amazon. Come to my rescue every time. Right. Okay, so we've done that. What else do we want to do? Well, I have quite a number of pieces of ephemera that need finishing. So we can make a start on that. We won't get them all done because I have quite a few. So when I went through my stash of ready-made ephemera, things I've made over the time with different challenges or following somebody's tutorial or something. So I have this one. This is the Roxy's Weekly Challenge pocket. And I think it sort of opens there, and it's got a big flower here. And I thought, well, the colours work. I thought that would just need something, an owl or a fairy, and we'd be good to go. And that's a nice pocket. This is another pocket that I really like that I made. I can't remember when I made this. It was probably when I was working in my to-do box or something. And I felt like, again, it just needs something to bring in the theme. Some added pieces of ephemera. Same with this. This is a pocket. I hadn't realised. I thought it was a journal card, but it's a pocket. There's a thumbnail here, thumb notch. It looks like it's been made from an envelope. It has been made from an envelope some time ago and just collaged and sewn around. So again, needs a finish. And this is similar. This is a coin envelope. So it'll be a tall pocket made from some Tim Holtz cardstock, I believe. So, same story. They all need a little something to finish them off. So, there's those. And then I also have, these are the tags, a bunch of tags from, as you can probably tell, from the Fake It. Well, that's a journal card. Tag, another little tag. So they're all different sizes, the tags, and a teeny weeny pocket. I've got other pockets which I haven't printed yet. Don't know if I'm going to need them. So they will need very little, just a little something to finish them off, I think. So let's start with these and see how far we get. So maybe I should do a couple of owl ones and a couple of fairy ones. These are saying, what are they saying to me? This one says owl. So where's my owl pieces? I've got my box of ephemera. The owls are in here as well. See what I can do. So I actually quite like the idea of having a mushroom there. So I've got more pieces here. These are from the freebie kit. There's so much in this kit, it's crazy. So much in both kits, really. I've got so much to play with. Oh, I wonder, could I put her there with her hand on the toadstool? Like that. That would work quite nicely, wouldn't it? I just need to put something under her feet. So that's that. I've got my owls here. So yes, I just need to put a little something under her feet so she will be not floating in midair. I've got a few pieces here. They're a bit on the big side. What about that one. Oh, there's one here that says mushroom. Maybe I can cut that out and see. Cut it out properly now. And if I can tuck that under there. And she can be kind of standing on it with her hand on the mushroom. Something like that. Yep, that works for me. And then this one, so this was going to be, I didn't know what I was going to do on this one, but I suddenly felt like that needed a fairy and a toadstool, or a mushroom. Want a nice big one on here, I think. Have we got a... Yeah, he looks quite good on there, I think. I just need to cut a little bit more of the white off because the hasn't gone quite into there. Let's get my scissors. So these were all cut out on my Cricut machine, and I think it's the setting I put them on. I think they've left rather a large border. I think I would adjust that next time I use it and not do such big borders. Didn't realise that was the effect it would have. But I learnt a few new things when I did the workshop at the retreat about the Cricut. I think the best thing to do, which is what I've been doing with these, is to ink out the white. So I'll do that. I'm going to use my mat again. Sorry, but excuse my arm reaching across. And I'll just ink around. And it just gets rid of that white border. Okay. He looks better. I was just thinking, I've got this piece that I've just cut off. I'm wondering whether to use that as a bit of decoration. I don't know if it would work on here, but it'd be good to reuse it somewhere. I've also got this piece of script. That would also as an option. I'll try and tear that. And cut off this top bit. So, could we, because this brings in some of that kit, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. I rather like that. I don't like the black edge though. Going to have to see if I can just tear that off. hadn't really expected to use this, but I think I quite like it there. And it does bring in bits of the Medieval Mirage kit. Bit of extra colour. Needed something. Okay, that's that for the moment. Don't know what that's doing there. And I think we're just going to put these on. I'm going to ink around. I will have to do her. I'll have to do her wings too. But it'll have to all be done at the same time. Right. Now. Oh, mustn't forget my little label. Now is that going to go under there? How was I going to do it? Just make sure I've got it in the right spot so that she can put her hand on the mushroom. I want her kind of there, don't I? Just trying to get them in the right order. Right, shall we put this piece on first? Oh, all the scissors and all the bits of paraphernalia. I've got no room for my glue book. Okay, and the pages are all turning up. So I was just trying to get these pieces on in kind of in the right order, but they want them all interlinking. So is that going to go kind of there? She's going to go. Stand on that there. That's going to go there. So okay, so we got that there. So I might put her on, but not. Hang on. Yeah, then I can position the mushroom under her hand, then, can't I? All right. Yep. So she is on there like that. And the mushroom is just there under her hand. So she's resting her hand on the mushroom. Or toadstool, but we're going to call it a mushroom because that's what the label says. That's right there. Oops. I think I just broke the little one. Okay. So we have this pocket. Is now decorated, ready to use. And let's do the owl. Does he need anything else behind him? Well, we have got got a page of labels which came with Medieval Mirage kit. Let's have Wisdom. Let's just cut around that. Link. Okay, so then that can be there. So I'll put Wisdom on first because I want it tucked behind the owl. There. Oh, got to put this on too, haven't we? Yep. Then we'll use this troublesome glue. It's not really troublesome, it's just a little bit difficult to squeeze out of this little nozzle here. I don't think it's meant to be decanted through a nozzle. It's meant to have a much bigger hole and it comes out beautifully. But this is how I want to use it on these smaller pieces. Okay. And then we have our wise old owl. Yeah, good. Happy with that. So that's another pocket ready to go. Going to have plenty of pockets. I think it's going to be quite a fat one, this journal. How are we doing for time? Ooh, I don't know if I've got time to do any more. Maybe I'll just manage one more. Maybe one more. So I thought I'd pull this one in because, again, it felt like it didn't need an awful lot to do to finish it off. Another little pocket. This is the Roxy Creations one, and I'm just thinking, I'm feeling fairy on this one. So I did pull one out. I just had a quick look through my box. I was changing my battery, as I always have to at about this time. It hadn't actually died, but I knew it would as soon as I started filming it, you know, turn the camera back on. So I've changed it, and while I did that, I found this fairy. I just had a quick look. She popped up, and I thought she was perfect. The colours are perfect. She looks like she's just sitting there, and I could just... I'm only a bit concerned about her wings sticking out too much. I think I could get away with her sitting there. I'm not quite sure what that is on the bottom. Her hand seems to have got something sticking out of it. I'm just going to cut that off a little bit. Not sure what that's meant to be. Still doesn't look right. Okay. So I think I'm going to put her about there. Still a little nervous about those wings. I'm going to move her over a little bit. She's sitting, but there's what looks like a bench that could be, or you know, it's label, but she could still be sitting on amongst the flowers. So I'm happy with that. So I'll just ink around her a little bit. And then I will emboss her wings too. Going to have a big embossing session, aren't I? But I'll I will do some of it on camera, but I won't be able to do it all on camera, otherwise that will be just one whole video. Embossing wings, and I don't think anybody needs to watch that for a whole video. So I'm just going to bring her there. So I think she should be alright with just that little bit sticking out, because I can still tuck things behind. Just have to make sure I don't put any glue on the back of that wing. So let's get this glue out again. But then, and it says beauty and everything, so that works for a fairy as well. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of that, just half of that wing. And just pop her down about here, amongst the flowers. Move it over just a little bit maybe. There we are. There she is. Gorgeous. She works beautifully there as well. These fairies are just so sweet, so beautiful. And they work with so many things. I mean, I've pulled out a few of my previously made ephemera and they just fit beautifully. Okay, so that is that pocket finished, I think. It's only a single piece of book page on the back. Wondering whether I might consider gluing something on the back of this to reinforce it a little bit, make it a bit stronger, in case I want to have things coming in at the side. Might be okay if I glue that down. Yeah, anyway, I'll do that when I get to putting it in the journal. So that's it for today. I think that's all we're going to manage. So I've got this one finished, this pocket finished, and this pocket finished, all from pieces that I'd made previously. So that's quite nice because they're a bit different from the ones I made specially. And then what else did we do? We have added the lace to the journal. We have added the pocket, there's a belly band in here somewhere. Belly band is there, and a different sort of belly band right there. And we did the work on that page where I didn't want the raptor to show, so I've added a pocket here. Oops, tearing it up. So that's it. We've done a few things today. I'm really enjoying doing this. I'm really loving this journal actually at the moment. Well, I have from the beginning, just because I love the colours and the whole theme of it. I really enjoy it. So I will come back next week. Hopefully we'll get the topper on, get that embossing done, and then maybe put things in. I've got a few more things I need to decorate, so maybe we'll do a bit more decorating before we start putting things in the journal. So we will keep going on this because it's lots of fun, and I will see you then. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye for now.